I'm actually okay. I want to tell you about them already, but I can't. I have to wait till we start.
It's true.
Welcome to this week's Read This Next with Laura and Nicole. This week we are discussing the topic that we have aptly named Gays in Space. So it's basically characters who are LGBTQ and they are in space. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Outer space, yes.
Love it. I can't wait.
So before we get started, as always, I'm just going to remind you that the books we're talking about, some of them are available on Cloud Library, which is the Thunder Bay Public Library's app for accessing audiobooks and ebooks. And you can find these titles on there. But in super exciting news, we have also started doing no contact holds pickup. So that means that books that are, we may mention books that are actually in our collection, and then you can put a hold on it, and then you can come and pick it up and read an actual physical book from the library. Yay!
That's starting on July 20th.
Yeah. Starts on July 20th, but you can place your holds right away. And when you put your hold in, then you just sit tight and wait, and library staff will call you when the book is ready to be picked up. And we'll tell you all about the process. It'll be pick up just at Mary Jane Waverly, same as returns are right now. And yeah, and then you can do the thing. Come get your book. Physical distancing. We got lots of, everything set up.
Lots of
distance. Nice and safe, and then you can get your book. So exciting times.
Yeah, so now you can, now our options for what we can talk about too is quite more expansive.
Yes. We don't just have to talk about things you can get electronically. We can talk about stuff you can get hard copy.
All of it. Okay. So we will get right into our highlights of the week. Okay, our first one is called Rabbit and Robot. It's a YA. Cute cover. We'll insert it here.
Cute cover.
Yeah, it's very chaotic, but I like the cartoony aspect of it.
It's a good cover.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it reminds me of a couple cartoonists whose books we have in the library.
Okay.
Michael DeForge reminds me of a little bit, maybe. And the guy who did Safari Honeymoon, whose name I never remember. He wasn't that nice to me when I met him.
Oh no.
The book was really good though. Safari Honeymoon, thumbs up.
All right, a small wreck in a wreck. Okay, so it's by Andrew Smith. We do have it in the library, but we don't have it on Cloud Library, but we do have other stuff that he's written on there. So I'll give you the down low. Stranded aboard the lunar cruise ship Tennessee, Cager Messer and his best friend Billy, both 16, are surrounded by insane robots while watching 30 simultaneous wars turn Earth into a toxic wasteland. Sounds good.
Sure.
I will say our coworker Patience, who was the one who recommended we talk about Gays in Space, she read this one and she thought it was, if I'm remembering correctly, she thought it was a bit darker and it was a little more, I don't want to say twisted because that's too strong, but it was a little more, it was more dark. Yeah.
Sure. Dark.
A dark read.
Yeah. I have read some Andrew Smith before, and he does tend to, I don't think that he writes women well, hardly at all, but he writes, I think, male friendships very well. As someone who's never had a male friendship, I feel like between male friendship, I have had friends who are dudes, but he does a really good job, I think, with friendships between boys, teen boys, young men.
Dudes.
Yeah. Okay, my first highlight is a book that has an interesting publishing trajectory. So this book was originally self-published back in 2014, right? It's called The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And then in 2016, like a real publisher picked it up and we're like, we think this is so great, we're going to publish it ourselves. And now she's like, a big deal. She's won all sorts of, this book is won lots of great awards. Arthur C. Clarke nominee, won a Women's Prize for Fiction nominee. It won this amazing prize, it was nominated for the Kitschy's nominee for Golden Tentacle.
The Kitschy's
That's the part you're focusing on, not the Golden Tentacle.
Well, I mean, the Golden Tentacle is like obviously weird, but like the Kitschy's, what is that?
I don't know, but she was nominated for it. So
it's like a in a kitschy kitchen, you have like a image of a golden tentacle.
I don't know how it all works, but yeah. And so it's a story about, it's a space opera, which is what we call something like Star Wars is a space opera.
Classic.
Right. So a loner joins the crew of the aging Wayfarer, a patched up ship that has seen better days, and she must unexpectedly, our loner, Rosemary, must unexpectedly risk her life when they are offered the job of a lifetime. And then she learns lessons about love and trust, and all those good stuff. One of those found family sort of stories, right? Where you bond with your friends and they become the family you've never had. And then I'm assuming by the end, she's not such a loner anymore. I'm guessing.
I think a lot of space ones are very found family.
I think so.
They're thrown into chaos.
It's not surprising, right? You get like moments of extreme stress, you bond. So that's supposed to be a heartwarming, likable, engaging story. So not dark at all is my impression. And it's book one in a series. There's 3 books in the trilogy, and they are all out, and they are all available at the Thunder Bay Public Library. Read it on today.
Well, so do you see in our notes we include the images of the books. She has 2 there. Is the first one from when she published it? Because I recognize the second one.
It is. Yes, you'll see in the notes that or also Nicole will put it up on the screen, like the star she is. You'll see that there's 2 very different covers. I think it's really interesting. The first cover, I'm not like totally crazy about, but the second cover, I feel like has a totally different feel.
Absolutely.
The second cover doesn't look like a heartwarming, engaging story at all.
No, the first one looks very much what's that series?
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Thank you. Yes, it looks very much that kind of era and style of cover. And the second one just kind of looks like it would be a contemporary someone on a mountain. It doesn't look spacey.
It doesn't. No, and it doesn't look fun at all.
No, it's very boring.
Book, my impression is that it is a fun book. So I don't know. Don't let the cover turn you off is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, they did a better job with the first cover. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So just pretend that second cover is the first cover, and you'll be good, and you'll want to read it.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay. My second highlight is Bonds of Brass, which came out this year. It's available on Cloud Library. I know Patience also read this one, or she's currently reading it, and she said it's very good. This one is weird because it's not, I would have assumed again it was YA, but it's adult fiction. When you look at the descriptions of it, it says it's young adult, or it's YA for adults. So I think it's a new adult again.
Oh, yes.
Keep falling into that category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's by Emily Skrutsky, I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and it's also a trilogy, so this is the first one in it. So it's about a young pilot who risks everything to save his best friend, the man he trusts more and might even love, only to learn that he's secretly the heir to a brutal galactic empire.
I do have a question about this. Who is the heir, the young pilot or the best friend?
Well, Patience kind of spoiled a little bit of it, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
I can't tell you.
It's important. All right.
Don't want to mess up the details, so I'm not gonna. But it's apparently really good and a very twisty and fun read. So she's quite enjoying it. We'll have to get her on here at some point just to talk about like whatever book she's reading. But yeah, the cover for this one is super good too.
It is good. This author, I read a YA book she wrote called The Abyss Surrounds Us, and it had pirates and genetically engineered sea monsters.
I love that. I wonder if that came
So,
out around like what's that movie with the kaiju?
Pacific
Rim.
Rim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm just going to throw that out there. So if that interests you at all, we have that in the collection. I know. So you can put a hold on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, this one is a space opera as well, and apparently it's very action-packed and has great world building. And a read-alike for it would be Red Rising by Pierce Brown and The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi. Other titles?
Personal?
You have one listed that says other titles.
I did. I had one other random title
Mm-hmm.
called 27 Hours by Tristina Wright. And I just included it as another example of LGBTQ characters in space.
Yay! Maybe we'll have to do a list.
A sound effect.
Ooh, I could put a sound effect. I'll put it right here. But no, I was gonna say we'll have to maybe put out a new readers advisory list that just like has a compilation of all of them, because there's way more than we've listed here.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was okay. So onto the personal rec. I was going to rec Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim,
but
it turns out, despite the title, it does not take place in space.
So bait and switch.
It opens with them on a dock, like on boats. I was like, this is not space.
This is not space. No.
And I went like a solid chapter or two before I realized, and I was like,
were you like waiting for them to go to space?
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's like in Stardust, the movie, where they like have a boat and it's in space.
Right. Yes.
Then there was a few boats and they were talking about like a plague, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna happen in space. So yeah, that was okay. It's on my read list, so maybe it'll come up in another one. But this week we're talking about The Disasters by M.K. England, which is available in the library and on Cloud Library.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm currently, I'm almost through it. I thought I could power through it last night, and then I fell asleep. So it happens, but it's really good. It's about this guy. It's first person, and it focuses around a guy named Nax. And he flunks out of space school, basically.
Sure.
And he and 3 other people end up on this like train back to Earth. Well, not train. It's a space. Like it's space. Whatever. It's a vehicle like to Earth.
Train. Okay.
And they all end up on this thing, and then this isn't a spoiler. This is literally like the first chapter. All of a sudden, things start going wrong, and the space training academy station that they're on, which is on the moon, because where else would it be, it basically like some group takes over that station without anybody outside knowing, and those 4 kids who flunked out of space school are now fighting for their lives, and they're on the run, and the people who took over that space station have a wanted, they put them on the wanted list.
Okay.
So another found family. They are a couple of them. There's like a little bit of a love triangle. Main character is bi. I don't know about the characters that he's in love with, but they are a man and a woman. And then there's also a transgender character in it. So lots of diversity, and most of the characters in it, they even say specifically that a lot of the people who go to the colonies, which is like not the moon, not Earth, other planets, a lot of them were South Asian and African. So there's a lot of references to like prayer with one of the characters, and it's really cool because they like actually include these aspects of their personality, which I liked. But it was really good. It was very humorous. It was it honestly felt like they kind of just like, they're like, we're just gonna ignore that this is kind of a little bit tropey, and we're gonna just like
lean into it.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, good. I'm really enjoying it. So it's nice. But what was the other thing I was gonna say about it? I had a thought about it. Nope, I got nothing. It was very good. Very good.
That's the important part. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Oh,
Funny.
that's what I was gonna say. Is the MK England is a librarian, and there's a scene in it where they're trying to find something in like a storage room, and the kid's like, I don't understand. How are things organized? And to me, I'm like, oh, they're using Library of Congress system, which is the alphabet and then numbers, and then and he was like, oh, it's alphabetical and then by numbers. I was like, that clearly written by a librarian. Like, of course she included that. And MK also wrote Spell Hacker, which just came out, which is on my to-read list, and it's also on Cloud Library. So check it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my rec this week is not a heartwarming, warm book, funny book, but it's really good. It's it's definitely on the literary side of like it's science fiction, but it is very literary.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what does that mean exactly? Very dense language and dense ideas, basically. It's called An Unkindness of Ghosts, and it's by Rivers Solomon. And we have it on Cloud Library, and we have it in hard copy as well. And it's about a generation ship, which is, it comes up in different movies and stories and stuff. It's basically like a ship that's traveling, and multiple generations live on it because the journey is so long.
Right.
Yes. Like that creepy Passengers movie last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I didn't want to.
No, it was this creepy one where like they were supposed to be in stasis, and then the guy woke up and he was like, I'm lonely. So he went and woke up a girl too and was like, oh, your pod malfunctioned as well.
Oh.
Let's be friends.
No.
No, you don't do that to somebody else. Anyway, this is not like that as well, as not lighthearted. Okay, so some of the topics that this book covers, okay, so slavery, feudalism, prison, religion, different sexualities, trans identities, intersex identities, disabilities, families.
Wow.
Lots of stuff going on. Our main character, Aster, lives in the low-deck slums of the HSS Matilda, a space vessel organized much like the antebellum South. For generations, Matilda has ferried the lost of humanity to a mythical promised land. On its way, the ship's leaders have imposed harsh moral restrictions and deep indignities on dark-skinned sharecroppers like Aster. Embroiled in a grudge with a brutal overseer, Aster learns there may be a way to improve her lot if she's willing to sow the seeds of civil war.
Ooh.
Yes.
Very relevant too.
Very relevant. Very relevant. Very kind of looks at the dangers of, like, even if as we move forward, when we still bring the prejudices of the past, how dangerous that is and how we need to work through these things, and so that we can move forward and not end up on a ship that's organized like the antebellum South. Not good.
No.
Not good.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's won a ton of awards. Stonewall Book Award, Lambda Literary Award for LGBTQ sci-fi. I would say Rita likes Octavia Butler, definitely. On Such a Full Sea by Chang Ray Lee. That's another one with like a strong female character who ends up, learning more about their world. It's another dystopian. So it is, it's one of those ones that I would say is painful but important.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. Not that it feels like a chore to read it, because it's very poetic writing. But it is brutal. Like, it starts off, again, not a spoiler, it starts off with her having to amputate a child's foot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because the upper decks have been like, oh, we're gonna have to ration the heat because we don't want to cut down the heat in our area at all, so we're going to ration it downstairs. And this child had got frostbite, and then their foot had turned gangrenous, and so in the beginning she's amputating this child's foot.
Wow.
Yes, and it just kind of goes from there. It's very good.
It's like a full meal, not a light snack.
Indeed. Indeed. There's a bit of a mystery she's trying to solve. So it does, like, it's fast moving as well. It's not slow. Recommended. Different sort of book. If you don't normally ever read science fiction, but you read a lot of like literary fiction, this might be one that you would want to check out, just to see if you kind of dip your toe into sci-fi. But it still will have, it has many things in common with literary fiction that is not genre fiction.
Yeah. A lot of what we recommend tends to be genre fiction.
Yes, we do a lot of crossovers, different things. But that's my rec for this week.
I love it. Also, love the cover. Very great.
It is a good cover.
When did 2017? Interesting.
Yeah. It's been on my to-read list for a while, and now I finally got it off.
Yay! That's what I like about this program is I think I said this last week too, I'm like reading a lot more, which is good.
Yes. Some people, by which I mean my family, told me that I'm not reading 40 books a year, as many as I said I did. And I was like, no. I said that I read 46 zombie books in the last 10 years.
Yes. They obviously didn't listen.
It's like, I haven't read 40 books this year. I know. I've read a lot less than I used to. But so just to clarify, I wasn't claiming that.
I read 40 books last year and they were all about zombies.
One track mind. What can I say?
Every 10 years you pick a new genre and you're just like, I'm gonna read it all.
This is all I'm gonna read. Yeah, that totally, it's a logical thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
so what do we want our next week's topic to be? We have some good options, but
we do. Do we want to do another sci-fi sort of thing? Because I would throw out time travel.
Time travel's good. We can do that.
Have a thought?
I don't. My brain is completely devoid of anything right now. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the week after we can. Oh no, 2 weeks, because we've got something coming up on the last week of July. So maybe like the first week of August or something, we can do witches and wizards.
That sounds fun.
Cool.
Witches and wizards coming up in August. Next week, time travel.
Time travel.
There's so many time travel books, man.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of really bad ones too, which is...
I'm sure there's many terrible ones, but
absolutely.
I know good ones, so that's what we'll talk about.
Woohoo! All right. So all of the notes, if you forgot what a title is, they'll be on our Off the Shelf blog, which
Off the Shelf.
Yes, and I will link it in the descriptions. I think I forgot most other weeks, but I will do it this week.
And we'll also put a link, well, on the blog post, it will also have a link to our catalog, so you can place all those holds.
Yay, place holds, come to the library. We miss you and we want to see your faces.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's it for this week. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
Bye.
Bye.